Kimi K2.5 officially dropped, and within hours, people weren't just calling it good. They were calling it dangerous. Not because it's unsafe, but because it's the kind of model that forces everyone else to panic and respond. Because this isn't one of those releases where the company posts benchmarks, throws around buzzwords, and calls it a day. Nope. Kimi K2.5 is showing real performance in real use, and yes, people are already saying it's outperforming GPT-5.2 in multiple categories. So what exactly is Kimi K2.5? Why is it suddenly everywhere? And what makes it so good that people are putting it in the same sentence as GPT-5.2, and sometimes above it? Let's break it down. Now, the first thing to understand about why Kimi K2.5 is making noise is that it doesn't just feel smart. It feels sharp. A lot of models can sound intelligent, but they do it by being verbose. They talk in circles, they over-explain, they stack disclaimers, they pad the response like they're trying to hit a word count. Kimi K2.5 doesn't do that. It answers like it knows what it's doing. It's clean, direct, and precise. And that difference matters more than people think, because when users are actually trying to get work done, they don't want a lecture, they want an answer. K2.5 consistently gives the feeling that it understands the assignment and isn't trying to perform for the user. It just executes. The second reason people are impressed is stability. One of the biggest frustrations with high-end models, even with something as advanced as GPT-5.2, is that the quality can be inconsistent. Sometimes it's brilliant, sometimes it's strangely off, sometimes it forgets what the user asked for halfway through, and sometimes it gets creative in the wrong way. Kimi K2.5, so far, has been showing a trait that separates impressive demos from daily driver tools, predictability. It stays on topic. It follows the thread. It doesn't randomly drift into unrelated tangents. It doesn't rewrite the prompt into a different question. It just sticks to the goal. That sounds basic, but it's rare at this level, and it's exactly why professionals care. People don't just want a model that can be brilliant, they want one that can be reliable. And then there's reasoning. Not just math puzzles, not just logic games, but real-world reasoning, planning, decision-making, comparing options, analyzing constraints, and working through multi-step tasks without collapsing into confusion. Kimi K2.5 has been handling these kinds of tasks surprisingly well. It doesn't just spit out an answer, it often structures the problem properly, breaks it down in a sensible way, and moves step by step without losing coherence. It feels less like a chatbot trying to guess what sounds right, and more like a system that can actually think through what it's doing. That's where people start getting uncomfortable, because once a model becomes consistently good at reasoning in normal use, it becomes much harder to dismiss it as just another alternative. Now let's talk about the spicy part, how Kimi K2.5 is being described as better than GPT-5.2. The honest answer is that it's not better in every possible category. GPT-5.2 is still a monster model. It has an extremely high ceiling. It's deeply capable. In some complex tasks, it still has the edge. But what's making Kimi K2.5 such a big deal is that it's outperforming GPT-5.2 in ways that matter most to everyday users. And in 2026, usability beats raw potential. Kimi K2.5 feels faster in practical use. GPT-5.2 can feel heavy sometimes. Like a luxury model with incredible power, but also more friction, more ceremony, more steps between the question and the useful answer. K2.5 feels like a sports car, quick responses, fast iteration, and smooth back and forth, which is exactly what people need when they're brainstorming, writing, or coding and they want momentum. Kimi K2.5 is also more direct. GPT-5.2 often plays it safe, and yes, that's partly by design. It's careful, it's cautious, it frames things with guardrails. But that can come at the cost of speed and clarity. K2.5 tends to just answer. It doesn't bury the response under layers of hedging. It doesn't dilute the output with filler. It feels assertive in a way that makes it seem smarter, even when the advantage is simply that it's being efficient. And for creators, developers, and anyone trying to move quickly, that directness is a huge win. Another major advantage Kimi K2.5 is showing is instruction following. This is where a lot of people are genuinely surprised. GPT-5.2 is extremely advanced, but sometimes it can interpret instructions too much. It'll add extra commentary when the user said not to. It'll change the requested format. It'll over-polish. It'll get creative. K2.5 has been better about doing exactly what was asked. If the prompt says 5 bullet points, it gives 5 bullet points. If the prompt says don't add explanations, it doesn't. If the prompt asks for a certain tone, it sticks to it. That might sound minor, but in professional workflows it's everything, because the best model isn't the one that can do the most, it's the one that wastes the least time. And that leads into the bigger point: Kimi K2.5 feels optimized for real-world tasks. GPT-5.2 often feels like it was built to be the most capable model on Earth, a kind of flagship that can do everything if you know how to use it. K2.5 feels like it was built to win daily use. It's tuned for practical productivity, for clean outputs, for high signal-to-noise, and for speed without feeling sloppy. It's not just trying to impress on a benchmark. It's trying to dominate the experience. To be fair, GPT-5.2 still has clear strengths. It has deeper long-context reasoning in certain scenarios, a higher ceiling on extremely complex tasks, and depending on setup it can have stronger multimodal performance and a broader ecosystem of tools and integrations. If someone is building a huge company workflow around a model, GPT-5.2 still looks like the enterprise tank, powerful, proven, and capable of going very deep. But Kimi K2.5 is starting to look like the disruptor. The model that forces everyone to rethink pricing, speed, and what best even means. Because best doesn't always mean the smartest in theory, it means the most useful in practice. And that's the real takeaway from the release of Kimi K2.5, it didn't just show up, it entered the ring. And for the first time in a while, GPT-5.2 has something it hasn't had consistently, a competitor that doesn't feel like a budget option. It feels like a threat. If Kimi keeps improving at this pace, the market is going to shift fast, because competition at the top forces change everywhere else. So the real question isn't just whether Kimi K2.5 is better than GPT-5.2. The real question is how long until models like K2.5 force the entire AI space to evolve, faster, cheaper, and more user-focused. Because Kimi K2.5 is here now, and based on what people are seeing so far, it's not playing around. Consider liking and subscribing if you liked this video. And as always, thanks for watching.